Here we go.
Siamo nostalgia. Sohila quinisanatacho tikaya siamo nostalgia. Just raising our hands to each and every one of you. We're live from the North Salish Sea to South Miami Beach, to our friends in Albuquerque. Wherever you are around the world, welcome to Tokitae TV, Scalig Chuktanat Talk. We're here to talk and liberate Lolita, and we just want to extend our love and appreciation to each and every one of you from the bottom of our hearts. We're so glad that you're here with us around the world as we bring awareness to our relative, Scalig Chuktanat. Her stage name is Lolita. She's at the Miami Sea Prison at the Abusement Park there in South Florida. And we just continue to bring love and appreciation to all of our friends. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you for being with us. We're going to start off in a good way with our relative, seminal artist, Samuel Tommy, who's going to open us up in a good way. Siamo nostalgia. Thank you for being here, relative.
Thank you very much. It is an honor to here to share this moment in time with everyone. It is very healing thought and healing experience to know that there are tremendous support from around the globe. It is a happy moment for me. This is also a happy moment for my family. I am here 30 miles south of Lake Okeechobee. I am in a Seminole reservation called Big Cypress Seminole Reservation. I'm happy to have my friends with me, my friends up in Illumination, and I'd like to say thank you for all your prayers and all your strength and all that you have done, and that we love what you are doing, because you are holding up the creation. We are for the creation. We are the creation. And we are the blessings of creation. And we must continue. And we must continue by bringing along our relatives of this planet, our human relatives, our relatives in the ocean, our relatives on the land and the air. So thank you so much for Illumination, for giving us such great guidance all these years. I'm going to present a prayer. This is a healing song. And if you would like, please close your eyes, pray for yourself, for your family, for your community, and for all human race, for the planet, all life in this, on this planet and in this universe. Pray for all. Thank you, Creator, for blessing us. Thank you, Creator, for giving us this day. Thank you, Creator, for all the strength that you give us. Thank you, Creator, for your mercy. Thank you, Creator, for all your blessings through days and nights. And thank you for gathering us at this moment within this special time. We pray for Lolita. We pray for our relative, that she may be free and that she may fully recover and that she may be back where she can communicate with her family again. We feel Lolita's pain and we feel her love that needs to be revived. Creator, thank you. Thank you for bringing us together. Shanabish, Mado.
Hey, Sam. Thank you, relative. It's good to see you, Samuel.
Thank you.
For those of you that don't our first meeting, Samuel, he's been with us as we've been trying to liberate Lolita. Oh, what, for the past 4 or 5 years now, Samuel? And he's been with many of our prayer gatherings when we took the Tokitae totem pole down to South Florida in 2018. And so again, relative, it's really good to see you and continued blessings. Thank you for bringing this prayer to our virtual fire here, as our relatives, our elders here with us, our production team, and our women warriors and our warriors are here with us as we bring this beautiful work to Lolita. So good to see you, brother. Thank you. Aishka. Annette.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Samuel, so very much. Thank you. We have folks watching from all over the place. We have California, London, New Zealand, Washington, Japan, Ohio, Germany, Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts. Just thank you, all of you, for watching. I know people are still jumping on, and a lot of folks from Washington, of course. So shout out to Washington. Want to go to Alejandro. There's been a lot of changes this week, which we're going to talk about, obviously, but I want to know, how did that shift today's protest out there?
Very great. We have many protesters. We have many protesters in front of the Miami Aquarium. 3 megaphones, so everybody was spreading the word. We were passing out flyers. And many people, many visitors who visit the facility inside, they were complaining. They told us the inside building and Studeri is terrible, how it looks. So I don't want to imagine how the Lolita's tank is actually, So, but we have a coverage from Channel 4, as CBS News Miami. The same, I have interview on Friday. So, but I feel so happy, and I'm telling you, even the people just driving in front of the Miami Aquarium was telling us, thank you, and we hope to see Lolita in a sanctuary. So that's give me enough strength, to continue our work. And we are ready for the water ceremony on March 22. I invite everyone to join us.
Thank
Aishka.
you. Thank you,
Aishka.
Alejandro. That's a really good point for our World Indigenous Water Blessing Day. We're going to have ceremonies from Maui, Hawaii to Miami Beach, to the shores of South Florida, to our friends up at Fighting Line 3. Tsleil-Waututh jumped on just yesterday. Howard Garrett, who we're going to hear from here shortly at the Orca Network. He's having a gathering down in Penn Cove on Woodby Island. Should anyone want to join our water blessing ceremony, and if you want to do your own ceremony, there is no wrong way. You can do your own water blessing ceremonies. We're calling all faiths, all those that believe in protecting our 4 elements of life. You know, there's only 4, like 4 directions. And so we just invite you again, Sunday, May 20th. We're starting here in the Salish Sea, beginning at 12
March
p.m.
20th.
I mean, March 20th. Geez, wow, I'm way ahead. March 20th, in 2 weeks, the day before the first day of spring. I apologize. But please join us wherever you are. It would be great to have you and your community. And if you're not on live with us, go live on your own Facebook, your own YouTube channel. Annette, we're on YouTube now. Can you explain where we're at and where people can get updates?
I was just setting that up yesterday, but we are Tokitae TV on YouTube. I will put the link in the comments so that you are all able to go see today's live. It's viewing right now live on YouTube as well. Last week's broadcast is on there, and I will be adding later this afternoon our previous broadcasts as well. So I will put that in the link here in just a little bit. So thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for the interest in the comments and the messages for what we're doing, what we're trying to do. So I really appreciate all of you participating. I do want to hand the floor over though to Skayla Halev from Lummi. I'm going to hand the floor to you.
Hi, Shkasiam. Thank you, my friends. And a special thank you to our relative, Samuel Tommy in Seminole. Every time the Lactamish people have calling on you, you've answered with grace, respect. You are humble. We love you. Hi, Shkasiam. Thank you, my friend. I also feel like it's important to start off with remembrance of Hugo. March 4th was his passing. We don't know exactly how old he was. We believe he was between 14 and 15 years old. And Scully Chucktonut witnessed this. He committed suicide by ramming his head on the side of the tank. So she witnessed all of this. She witnessed them taking him from a crane and pulling him up. And in his memorial page, they say they don't know where he is. Well, we know where he is. They put him in a Miami dump. We need to own that. So I just want to take a special moment to call out to his spirit and to his family and ancestors and say, Hugo, we honor you. We remember you. We love you. And this has been a very exciting week. I mean, everybody's been watching, different broadcasts, different news updates. And, bottom line is she was retired. Skelly Chucktonut was retired this week. She no longer is a showgirl. She no longer has to perform for her food. She can begin her healing. The other good news is now we know who we need to go to have this dialogue for her. Before it was uncertain. Was it Miami-Dade Board of Commissioners? Was it Miami-Dade Mayor? Was it MSQ? Was it Parques? Was it Palace? Was it the Dolphin Company? Now we know it's the Dolphin Company. So this is good that we know who we need to be going to and talking with. And there have been a lot of comments and speculations on now what? Well, we're still focused on the most important thing, and that's getting her the best health care possible. Now that she's not having to perform, we want her to begin her healing. We are still advocating for a veterinary team to come in and to start this. But we also wanted to share with you today, we have been working on what happens when this day comes. This has been in the works for many years. We have partnered with the Well Sanctuary Project, and in coordination with marine mammal veterinaries, biologists, researchers, experts that all helped us develop this plan. It is many pages, it is very detailed, and it's simply called Her Lummi Home. And it goes from the moment that we have the ability to take care of her, what all of those things need to happen. We need to look at her past medical history. We need to do current. We need to see where her baseline is. And once we know that, then we know what do we need to start doing to get her to her health back, so that the prayer and hope is that we'll be able to start training her for transport. But this all depends on Skelly Chuktanot. She's going to tell us when she's ready to go to the next step. Because this is about her. This is what's going to make her life happy. And she'll tell us. So we'll bring in the right veterinary folks. We'll bring in the Lactamus spiritual people. So we'll take care of her physical. We'll take care of her spiritual. At the same time, we're over here in the her Lummi home that we've designed for her. We'll begin that work. Well, we've already begun it. It's been in the works for a while because it's very detailed, as it would be in the water in the Salish Sea. So there's permits, environmental studies, and all these other things that have to happen. But I just want to assure you that the Whale Sanctuary Project folks that are our partners are the lead in coordinating this part for her. And we're working alongside to take care of her culture and her spirit. And so what I would like to do now, if Annette could, we have an animated diagram just to give you a brief overview of where if she so chooses to be at that level, and we get to bring her back to the Salish Sea, she'll go there. So we want to show you so you can visualize what this would look like for her. Haishka, and just to say, this has been a long time coming. We have a lot to be grateful for, that our ancestors have cleared her path for her life to go on to a better way. So we're so grateful for that. We're grateful.
What a beautiful rendition there. We apologize. We seem to have lost Skayla Hala. We'll get her back on. Skayla Hala, there you are. Wow, that was enlightening to see. And it's, again, we want to let everybody know we're not going to fly her here first class and just throw her into freezing cold 36-degree Salish Sea water. We have a recovery plan. We are going to recuperate her and help slowly get her back to the smell and the taste of the Salish Sea, to the cold waters that she was born in. And we just want everyone to know we want her in a good way. Dolphin Company, I know you guys are watching, and we know that we're going to do the right thing and keep up our efforts. And we're not alone in this. But Skela Hela, what would you share with our I hope soon to be friends at the Dolphin Company?
Well, our strategy has always been open hand. Partner with us. She's our relative. Let us share with you why we call her a relative. Let us share with you how the Laktamish people take care of their family. Walk along, join us at the table. Walk with us on this path to do what we need to do for our relative. And so that's what we're working on now. And we believe and we hope and we just know ancestors. I just have to repeat it. They have cleared our path in this work to do this for her. Our Wakawatin, our sacred obligation, ancestors did that. Now they're doing it for her. So it's the most beautiful walk and beginning of the journey.
Thank you, Skela Hela. Good to see you, my friend, my relative, my elder. If you're just tuning in, this is Tokitae TV, our Scally Chuktanat talk. Scally Chuktanat comes from the Cohamuchton people. They are the people that live under the water. They're not orcas. They're not killer whales. They're not animals. They are, in the words of our beloved late chief, Salik, bless his soul, for inspiring Skela Hela, for inspiring Howard, for inspiring Jewel James and Alejandro and Annette and Deb and our friend Samuel. You know, we're just inspired by our good work to bring our relative home, our Cohamuchton relative home. This is her home here. And that's all we're asking, in a good way. And in the words of Jewel James, he would say, well, we can be heroes or we can be villains. And we make that choice. And the amount of money that's been made off our relative, probably numbers in the millions with the different expansions. And so we can do this, right? Skela Hela, in a good way. Annette?
Thank you. There's some questions coming in that we'll probably get to a little later, but I just want to assure folks that the conversations that are needing to happen are happening. The details that everyone's looking for, those are worked out, and they will be shared when it's time. There's, you know, like we said earlier, I mean, we do need the assessment, we do need the health assessment. So I just want to keep people focused on what is it that we're asking for, because that really is the very first step here. I'm gonna head over to Howard, and then we'll talk a little bit more about next steps and what you all can help with. So Howard.
Thank you, Annette and Haishka, everyone, and Squilahela especially. I so appreciate that update and bringing us up to the present moment. And it is so reassuring. It is so strengthening to me to know that you are there. You are in it completely, and you are making it happen. You have had the faith all along. All along, you have said, keep the faith. Know this will happen. And that has reassured me all along. And sure enough, look at this. Now we're on the very verge. We're on the cusp. It's about to happen. We can't give an exact timeline. There are many obstacles, and you're well aware of them. But I trust so much that you will be right in the middle to make it happen the way that it should. I would like to play an audio tape, and it's a great honor to me to be able to introduce and to play this tape to you. It's really my brother's story. Ken Balcom went out in 1995, as he did since 1976. Every time whales were out, he'd get in his little open boat and go out and photograph and document, videotape and audio tape them. And he did that one day in the summer of 1995. And this was a very special moment. This tape, in fact, is a historical document. It should be on display at the Smithsonian because it tells of that moment in 1995. And it was a very special moment because the whales, the southern resident orcas, Tokitae's family, and this is all about her. This is her family. This is the part of her that they don't see in Miami. They don't know, they don't understand, but she does. She's aware. She knows where she came from. She knows her family. And this tape gives you a feel for it, for her and her family that you just can't see in Miami at all. But I want to try to bring this awareness to everyone, to all of the planners, to everyone involved in this, to reassure them that she knows, that she has that recall, she has that life. I'm positive of it. This was 1995 when the population of the southern residents had regrown, I should say, from the captures. During the captures, over 40 were taken, up to about 50. We don't know exactly. There weren't complete records, and many died during the captures. But there were only about 70 left in 1976 at the end of the capture era. And that's when the studies began. So that count is the official count. Every individual was documented. So we know there were about 70, or there were 70 in the southern resident population in 1976. In 1995, just 20 years later, the population had grown to almost 100, 98, 99. It's hard to say exactly. We don't know when some disappeared or were born exactly, but we know the year. And there were about 100 in the whole population. And Ken was with them in Haro Strait. That is the body of water in the Salish Sea that is south of San Juan Island, that opens through the Strait of Juan de Fuca out into the Pacific Ocean. But they were inland in this calm water, and he was documenting them as he always does. And all those records are complete, going back to 1976. And they had gathered, as they sometimes did, maybe 3, 4, 5, or 6 times. It varied a lot over the course of the summer, when they would come in from the Pacific and feast on salmon, on the salmon going into the rivers, the Fraser River, the Skagit River, the Nisqually River, all of the rivers that held salmon populations. They would come in to these waters and forage and feast and celebrate and have their gatherings, their moments, their big reunions together. And I should add that this is what they were doing in 1970, in August of 1970, when they were brutally herded, terrorized with bombs in the water into the cul-de-sac that is Penn Cove, when Toki and 6 of her family members were taken and 5 didn't survive the capture operation. So they were doing this again in 1995, and they were out there in Haro Strait, and Ken had been with them during the day. And in those days, they had a kind of a regular thing, a regular pattern where they would go north up Harrow Strait and into Georgia Strait a little bit, and to the mouth of the Fraser River at Vancouver, and then down Rosario Strait, which is on the east side of the San Juan Islands, and back into Harrow Strait, and then back up again. So they kind of were doing that big long circuit again, and Ken was with them, and it began to get dark late in the day, and this is summer, so we're talking 8, 9 o'clock at night. And he continued with them. And they got up about to where, for the people around here, where Harrow Strait meets Boundary Pass, a kind of a dog leg out at Stewart, at Turn Point on Stewart Island. And they stopped moving, began to party. And I've witnessed these in the daytime, and it's a gathering of all of the whales, and this would be almost 100 whales, all 3 pods, all mixed together, and they gather into smaller groups, and there may be 10 or 12 of these groups that each of them may have, I don't know, 20 or 30 members in each one, and most of the activity is underwater, so there's a lot of vocalization. You can hear them from even above the water. You can hear them, especially as Ken did. He put in a digital tape recorder and microphone in the water, and went out and listened. And this was a clear night, no wind, luckily no tugboats or freighters, no boats at all, no sound at all, but the whales. And they were partying. I mean, there's no way to miss it. You can feel the excitement and the joy of the whales meeting each other and gathering together. They mix their pods. They greet old friends. It's a celebration that is just beyond belief. The way that they enjoy each other's company and presence, and you can see it in their behavior. There's a lot of breaches going on in some parts of this tape. This is only going to be about a 1 minute, 20-second piece of over 20-minute overall tape. But you can hear the breaches. You can hear the pops where the 8 or 10,000 pound whale falls down, after breaching, and it makes a big thud. There's a lot of that going on, and a lot of mating goes on. 18 months later, new babies appear from these events when all the pods meet together. And it just shows you some of the excitement. So I guess I've done as much introduction as I can. Annette, can you go ahead and this, Annette added a video so that it would play as a video because the audio doesn't. But the video is not from that night, of course, because it's daytime. But you can go ahead and play the tape, Annette. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard. Thank you so
want-
much for sharing that with us.
I'd like to also add that this was the tape that was played to Toki by Dateline NBC in 1995. Many of you have probably seen the clip where she came halfway out of the water so that she could lean over with her inner ear to listen closely to her family. This is exactly what she was listening to.
Thank you so
Howard,
much.
yeah, Howard, what would you share with the dolphin company, the new owners, if one of their friends or family might be watching? What would you share with them, Howard?
I would share with them the reassurance that she will be fine, that she will be happy to be back in her home waters, that she will be re-energized, that she'll be revitalized. It'll be therapeutic for her in a technical sense. That she'll know where she is, and I think she'll feel, at long last, she is home. I have a belief in knowing the brain anatomy and the whole natural history of orcas that she has never lost that connection with her place, with her home, with her family, and that she has always believed for now over 50 years that she'll be back someday, that some terrible thing has happened to her, but someday she'll be back. I think she has kept that faith. And I think she'll be reassured when she comes home.
Howard, I want to have just a little bit of dialogue because I've been seeing some posts and there's a lot. I mean, I think everybody knows, right? There's going to be some accurate reports and there's going to be some not so accurate reports. But I was in a chat yesterday and I think that people don't know. And so I'm hoping maybe you can touch a little bit about the difference because people are comparing the possibility of her going home to Keiko, and the family piece is a big difference. And I'm just wondering if you can chat just a little bit about the differences there.
Well, sure. There are similarities that I want to point out too, and that is that the Icelandic waters were Keiko's home waters, and when he was lowered into those waters for the first time after about 20 years of captivity, he loved it. I mean, that the descriptions at the time are that they're on our website. The quotes from the staff that were there at the time, that he just immediately, and this is after what, 15 hours, 16 hours in an airplane, all the way from Oregon to Iceland. But he immediately stretched out his flukes and his fins and he took off and went exploring in this big netted off cove in Iceland and basically disappeared from the staff. He lost interest in his humans. He went, into all the nooks and crannies. He began vocalizing. There was apparently a pilot whale in the area that was calling, and so he was calling to the pilot whale. I don't know if they actually had a conversation, but he was diving longer than ever before. And the trainers had to very actively try to call him back. And he was in the larger enclosure at first. And they had to station people in a lot of different places to try to keep track of where he was and call him back because he was underwater and just moving around and having a great time in his home waters. So that part worked. He loved his home waters so much, and it did help his whole, his metabolic strength, his cardiovascular strength, his stamina, all improved. But he never was able to integrate with orcas. And I think that what was missing was the knowledge that orcas are bounded for life with their families, with their mothers, essentially, with their mother's family called a matriline. He did not locate them, and only they would accept him. No other whales would accept an unknown male, especially orca, into their pods because their pods are their matrilines. And so he could not ever join in with any others because they weren't his matriline. They weren't his immediate family. Toki's family is known. She will at some point be found by them. Acoustically, she'll hear, I expect it will go that she'll hear them, and they may be miles away, but she'll call to them, and she'll call in their language. It's essentially a language in the calls that she learned before she was captured, that we know she uses in Miami. She calls out to them, or calls in those calls, and so she will be able to answer them in the calls in the language that they know, which identifies her right away as somehow a relative. And I think there will be a lot of curiosity. After that, I just don't know exactly what will happen because it's completely up to them and it's unprecedented, but they will interact. They will converse. They will want to get acquainted, and it won't be an immediate kumbaya, welcome back to the club. It'll be more of a building of that relationship, a rebuilding of the trust and of the bonds. And it can happen when she is still within a sea pen, because the sounds and they can come close. So it can be in a very controlled situation, but I think I sure want to be there or see the documentation when that happens, because it will be a magic moment when they meet up again. Keiko never got that opportunity.
Thank you
Beautiful.
for explaining that. Yes, thank you very much. I was a little shocked, but I have to remember this isn't everyone's 24-hour world, and so I think it's important to share that with the folks who don't follow just the differences with that, because I know everyone's doing this and putting their questions from a space of love. People are concerned for her, so thank you for addressing that part of it. I want to stress a little bit, like we did last week, about communication. I've seen some amazing posts from you guys out there, just really encouraging people to be positive, stay positive, be positive. Again, reminding folks that the energy that we have and put out is what she feels. So thank you for doing that. I know there's been some calls now that we know it's the Dolphin Company to direct the questions. There's been some posts on their Facebook page, and if they're not positive, folks, they're just going to get removed. So I just encourage you to be positive. We really do need to work in partnership with this company right now, whether you're in alignment with their practices or not. We really want to do this, like Freddie says, in a good way, and work in partnership with them. We had a long conversation about that just a couple days ago. Christina Molly sent me a sample letter, and I'm not going to read it all because it's very long, but there's some highlighted points. If you do write to the Dolphin Company, this letter is so respectful. It's encouraging them to read the letter from their heart. It's encouraging them to step up and be part of something bigger that hasn't happened before. It really is encouraging a relationship with this company, and love for Scallychuck to be returned home, and to consider that. I'm looking at the comments coming in, and again, I just want to remind people that the very, very first step is to get her the assessment. So on that note, I don't know, and Scalahela, maybe you can answer this. Would it be the Dolphin Company that we are making this request to, or would this also be the mayor, because she's been saying about wanting that assessment as well?
Well, there's a couple of different entities that are still involved. The Miami-Dade Board of Commissioners is doing an addendum to the lease to MS Leisure, who is owned by the Dolphin Company, that will manage, the Miami Seaquarium. So there's an ability to weigh in to ensure that the addendum includes And it's really, at this point, we feel, excuse me, we really feel compelled to take this opportunity to also advocate for all of the animal spirits that are still held, at the park. Our primary goal is for Skelly Choctaw, but we also do care about the animals that are there, that they're cared for in the best way possible. So Miami-Dade Board of Commissioners is doing an addendum now. I haven't heard if they did it on Friday and executed it. They may have. Then the mayor has a piece in it as well, because it's her staff that is in collaboration with USDA's inspectors. So she sends in her team. When we've had some concerns about her current health recently, we've asked the mayor, we said the drone footage, mayor, doesn't look like she's getting clean water. And it's a fine balance, because we don't want them to over chlorinate it either, because that's hard on her. But we want them to be checking on that balance to ensure she's got quality water, quality air, good food, all that kind of thing. So the mayor's office still has a piece in it, but now we know it is MS Leisure, the dolphin company. And so I would just, as you said, Annette, keep it in a good way, whether we agree or like them or not. They have her on their books as their corporate asset. So we are continuing to go with an open hand and say, come to the table, partner with us. Let's take care of our relative in the best way we know how.
Thank you very much. I know a lot of people are here and to see what to do next. What does this team advise that we do next? Who do we call? I know we all want so many answers, but I think it's fair to say that just with what you shared, maybe writing the dolphin company in a good way, continue to write the mayor and continue to write Raquel Regalado from the county commission to make this request. Let folks know that we're still here. This is good news. This is a big step, but we're still going to monitor. We still want to know what's going on with her. So continue the letters. It's worked. Thank you, everyone who's written a letter. It's obviously worked, and we're being heard. So I just encourage people to continue to do that in a good way, in a positive way. So thank you very much.
Also, the power of prayer has to be continued and honored. So we just can't let that go. She still needs, our hope, our love, and our energy to continue on her journey of spiritual health, of physical health. So just in your way, whenever it moves you, send that love and hope to her, and it helps her. It helps her.
It's so true, Skela Hela. Just beautiful words. Thank you. We know the power of prayer. Don't matter who you are, what color skin you have, what kind of language you speak. We always have to remember we're part of the human family, all of us. And I was thinking, like, some of those, the dolphin company, what they might think, oh, these crazy Lummi Indians, calling Lolita their relative, calling Lolita Quahomachton, the people that live under the water. And yeah, it does sound a little crazy, but we have to remember we're a part of the human family. We're all indigenous to Mother Earth here. And if we don't say something, we have to do something. And so by writing a letter in a good way, just from all of our relatives I just want to do a quick shout out. We're trying to keep our show to an hour, but I just wanted to do a quick shout out to just a lot of the friends and relatives from all over the world, just joining us. I don't know where Johnstown is. I know we have friends in London and friends in Indiana and our relatives from down under. Thank you. Just really appreciate you tuning in and being a part of hopefully our solutions. I really think that our solutions are science based, and when we talk about bringing and liberating Lolita, it's in a good way. Again, we want to do this in a good way, in bringing her home and retiring her. She's tired. Imagine you start at the age of 4 years old. Imagine at 4 years old. Imagine your daughter, your niece. Imagine at the age of 4 years old and performing. That is, I don't know how to say that any nicer. And maybe a lot of our friends that, hey, write a letter, a real nice letter. Send it to us. Send it to Annette. Send it to me. We're both on Facebook. It's just so great to see all the important love from each of you. And so I again just can't thank each of you enough for tuning in. There was a question real quick, Annette. I was thinking there was a couple of questions we wanted to talk about, and I know we're going to keep talking about this, so let's keep talking about it. But this one is: have we applied for permits yet? Right now, Howard?
I don't know.
No, we haven't done the application, but we have started clearing the path with the appropriate state, federal agencies. And so when the application is completed and handed in, they're not shocked. We've been in dialogue with them.
That's great. Yeah, lots of love coming to you and Howard, Scala Hala, and Mr. Garrett. Thank you. Annette, do we have any other questions? I know we have a few more minutes here. Do we want to hit a couple of questions?
There's a lot of questions. People want to know about the update on the $1 million donation. So do we. But people are asking about that, and unless somebody else here has heard anything, I have not heard any more about that yet. I'm guessing, like many, we're waiting on that go, on the it's happening, and that's when things are going to come in. Someone else asked about the GoFundMe, if that's the best place to send their donations. I say yes. I'll put that in the link here after. If somebody else who's watching on Facebook, I know Christina Mully and Peggy Oki, they all have the GoFundMe ready to go. If you can share that, I'd really appreciate it. That is the fund that is specifically for her and this plan. That will help with the permits. That'll help with the plan. That helps with everything. This is specifically for her. So yes, yes, thank you, Freddie. You can go to sacredseed.org. It's on there, and also the GoFundMe link. I'm sure someone will be posting very shortly, and if not, I'll do that as soon as we finish. People want to know about a link to be given to post the video. I'm not sure if that was a question regarding the track there that Howard had. I'm not sure it was. Okay, Deb's saying yes. I'm happy to share that, Howard, if that's okay with you, the little video I created.
Sure. I'm not sure which one you're referring to, but I'm sure it's good.
Oh, just the one that we played with your audio. I just had to find pictures, you guys, because I couldn't post just audio, so I had to make a little video because the app we're using doesn't want just audio. Okay, cool.
Sure.
I will post that after as well. Thank you very much. Wow, maybe an hour's too short, huh? Because we're getting close there, but we'll continue this every week. We'll be in communication through text. Peggy Oki sent me a video, and Peggy, I don't know that I'm going to get to play it, but we'll definitely post it on here. I don't know if you guys remember Robin Camille, an activist from New York who wrote a song called Free Lolita. And so she put this pictures to that. So maybe I'll play that at the very, very end. But Samuel was kind enough to join us again. And I wanted him to be able to close us out if that's okay with him. Unless anybody else has anything they want to share. Alejandro, is there anything you want to last minute words of advice or encouragement?
You're on
Oops,
mute,
you're on.
bro.
Yeah,
There
to
you go.
keep donating. Yeah, just encouraging everybody to keep donating, to keep praying for Lolita Tokitae's college check now, because she needs to get strong enough for this journey. So she will make it, because I know she's a warrior. She passed many hurricanes and still survived. I walk that parking lot after the hurricane. You can see the trees fall down over there, big holes on the floor, on the concrete, but she still survived. She's a warrior. I know she will make it.
Thank you, Alejandro.
And
Howard,
also,
oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Howard.
Yes.
Go ahead. Final words.
Oh, I just am so grateful for everyone for joining this movement. It is global. It is everywhere. And it is powerful, and it is making this happen. It is based on this faith. There's been so much skepticism and doubt, and so much, insurmountable obstacles, over the years. But now everything seems to be aligning to make it happen. And it wouldn't happen if we didn't all want it to happen and pray for it to happen. So I appreciate all the people who are helping to make this happen.
Thank you.
Skela Hela.
Just to echo the other comments about appreciation and Haishka, but I love everyone's spirit coming together for her. She needs us more than ever, and she feels it. So Haishka, Siam, thank you, my friends. I love you.
Hey, Sam, love you too, relative. Deb Cruz.
I just wanted to reiterate, there's a lot of questions, with specific questions regarding sites and plans and permits and things like that, but to just stay tuned, because once those details are available, we'll get those out to you. So don't feel like we're ignoring your questions. We're not. It's just they're questions that are a little more complicated than we could answer here or that we have information for, but please stand by. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Deb. I guess we'll go live to our relative in South Florida to close out our hour. Again, this is Tokitae TV. You can check us out on YouTube now at Tokitae TV, and it sounds like we're going to start at least a Facebook page, right, Annette? Since we're going to start going global with our relatives around the world and our friends at Until Lolita's Home. Joe Phillips, thank you. All of our friends in New Zealand, South Africa, from Indiana to Germany. We're going to go live to Samuel Tommy, who is going to close out our hour here. Samuel, the floor is yours. ACM.
Thank you very much. Much love to Illumination. Much love to all who have their hearts and prayers and bringing Lolita home. Much love to all supporters. I would like to do a song. This is a song for the water. If you can imagine about the fresh water coming down from the mountains, this is happening. We still have healthy water on this planet, so we have to pray and touch that with our hearts and our souls and our prayers. I'd like to close with this song. Thank you, Creator, for our sacred water, for which provides us life, continues life, which has sustained life from the beginning, which has brought joy to life, which has brought joy to our spirits, which has brought joy to all living. And thank you, Creator, that you have put into water. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for all our brothers and sisters who are praying with us. Thank you, and touch everyone's hearts. Thank you, Creator. Mado, Shnabish.
Hey, Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you, relative. This has been Tokitae TV, Galley Chuck the Nut Talk. We're here each Sunday at 1 p.m. Salish Sea time, Pacific time. Feel free to join us, to share our story, to pass along the message to our hopefully our I just want to hopefully call them our friends in the near future, the Dolphin Company. If you write a letter, just do it in a good way. If you're a teacher or if you're an artist, we're asking some of the teachers to this spring maybe have some of your students do a dedication to Lolita, Tokitae, Scalichuktanat, and just doing it in a good way to help our elder Scala Hela, Raynell Morris, to help our friends at the Orca Network. And I just want to thank our friends who reached out to the sacredseed.org to donate art. There were some artists that reached out after our last broadcast. And so thank you. The first of our soon-to-be online art auction to benefit sacredseed.org. I know a lot of us struggling artists, we don't have much to give, but we can give our art. And any way we can help, thank you. Much love, respect. We're going to raise our hands to each and every one of you around the world. This concludes our words and work today. Loving, thanking. Have a good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Love from Lummi Nation. Love from Woodby Island. Love from Miami. Thank you. And thank you, Annette and Deb, for doing such a great production. So all my relations,
Thank you.
ACM.